hero comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello and good afternoon. Let's get in some good stretching. Let's do it. Let's do it. Good stretches. All right. Oh, yeah. Good stretches. Except for when it hurts a little. When you get older, you have to start to put things back into place, like your arm socket. Oh, man. Good stuff. Everybody's having a good day. Today, we're going to talk about safe spaces and people of trust and what these are. These two should be synonymous. These two things are synonymous. That means that they belong together. Okay. I'd also like to explain mansplaining, right? I don't do it it is a bad habit to explain everything to everybody like they don't know. But there's a lot of things in recovery that, that we are naive about. And naive just means you don't know. That's what it means. It means you haven't been told yet. All right. It's when you've been told and you deny it or whatever that we get into belligerent denial. All right. And it'd probably be best if we start out with people of trust. The title sounded better with safe spaces going first. So, what are people of trust? Am I a person of trust? Not in the sense that we're going to be talking about today, but I am a person of trust. What it means is that I went out and got a certificate, or maybe got a degree, but it means that I work with other people and that they tell me things that need to be kept with me. That's what a person of trust is. Okay. So let's see if we can find a list of people of trust. Give me a list of people of trust. Clearly, AI does not know what I'm talking about. We must not use this term anymore. It says trustworthy people. List of people I trust. No. Oops. What are people of trust? They're kind of there. All right. It clearly, I'm clearly don't have the verbiage for it because it has no idea what I'm talking about. What is a person of trust? A doctor, a therapist, anybody that is in the mental health field, including recovery coaches, peer support specialists, anybody that needs to follow HIPAA, teachers, counselors, principals, bartenders. These are all people of trust. Bartender's not really one of them. People of trust is somebody where, let's say you're talking to them and you say, I'm going to go kill this person, or this person sexually assaulted me. This person will need to follow through and report it. They also have to keep HIPAA very, very tight. Some of the things that we are not, see, there's a reason why I don't have clients. I'm going to tell you why I do not have clients, because then they wouldn't be able to follow any of this. They would not be able to follow my daily trudge. They would not be able to follow any of that. Because that would be breaking HIPAA. That is the main reason why I do not have clients. One reason why I don't charge for a lot of stuff that I do. I'm not charging for anything. Kind of switching that. I'm working on it. You know? But let's see what AI says here and give us some more ideas. Got a couple people here, but nobody has said anything. Maybe I haven't said anything worth replying to. Okay. I'm just double checking because some chat doesn't always work. So I wanted to make sure it was there. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. Dion, if you're here, please say hello. All right, we're done with that. Okay. People of trust can refer to individuals who inspire confidence and reliability in others. These people are often perceived as trustworthy due to their consistent behavior, adherence to commitments, and integrity. They demonstrate a tendency to act with honesty, fairness, and a strong sense of moral responsibility. Now, in that sense, I would be a person of trust, but that's not in the sense I'm talking about. I would not be. Teachers, another person of trust. I think I already mentioned them. Good afternoon, Clara. Good afternoon, Amber. It is good to see you both. Your sponsor, person of trust. Not in quite the same way, though. Right? Let's say you're talking to your sponsor. Well, you know, I killed someone. They don't need to report that. Not required to. Police officer, yes, they would have to report that, wouldn't they? Your therapist, they would have to report that. Especially people who are people of trust for? The youth, children, mostly. Right? But I guess in this sense, we're going a little bit of a different direction. Okay? If we go by this, then everybody I know here is a person of trust. I can trust you, right? But it looks like it comes with some things here, right? So reliability and consistency. Hi, Chris. MTPP. What were you trying to get out there? What were you trying to say, Chris? Let us know. I don't know what MTPP means. Maybe I'm behind. All right. Reliability and consistency. Trustworthy people are known for keeping their promises, honoring commitments, and showing up as expected. I'm here every day. If I've had somebody that I've helped in the past and they want help again, yes. The answer is yes. I look for every reason to not say no. I will look for every reason first. Right? If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I'm not going to say I'm 100% on that because I'm not. I'll give you a great example. Saturday, a week or 2 weeks before that, Amber had asked me if I could cover her chairperson, and I forgot to change it. That wasn't very reliable, was it? But it was a human mistake, and so we got through. But it's a good example. So they are going to mess up. Give people of trust a little bit of a chance. Am I consistent here? Am I reliable? Absolutely, I am. Hell or high water. Was it? How long has Dion been going? I know. Yeah, I go live every day. Blah blah blah. But let's see. Okay, here's my restream sites. My streaming streak is 90 weeks. That means I have not missed a day in 90 weeks. That's a year and a half, man, that I have not taken a day off from the Daily Trudge. Okay. Do you know what happened a year and a half ago? I got my gallbladder taken out. That's why I missed a day. I was in surgery. Right. So, integrity and honesty. Integrity is one thing that I carry as well. It's a top priority rating for me. It's top priority. Again, following through on what you're going to say. Let's see what trustworthy individuals are often seen as making sound decisions based on careful. That is the wrong thing. That'll be next, though. The integrity and honesty, they are generally perceived as being honest and transparent in their dealings, avoiding deceit or manipulation. The Daily Trudge is a perfect example of that. I was just writing a description on how we're a little bit different. There are two things here that are different. Number one, I go live and what I do is very interactive. There is a lag, but there is no time being set aside for somebody to cut something out or beep something or something like they do. And even when you watch live television, it's still 10 seconds off so that they can do the beep if they need to. Beep, beep, or cut you off if they need to. Even live shows are that way. This one's got a little bit of a lag, but there'd be nothing I could do about it. How often have I been wrong here and we solve it? We solve it right here. I do not run around and say, I do not film the best parts of my life and then put it on Facebook. Nope. Need to know that life doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Right? So, if there's one thing that I am called a lot, it's transparent. Oh, I love your transparency. I can't help it. I want to be transparent. See, I've dealt with everything that I need to deal with. Now I can be transparent. A lot of times that transparency is, you're correct. I was wrong on that. Let's get to the right answer then. Let's get to the right answer. Good judgment and decision making. Oh, man, it's like I'm just talking about me here. You can laugh at that. It's funny. Is Dion a little full of himself? Yeah, sure he is. Yeah, I am. But I know how to tamper that down. I don't think highly of myself. This is what I think of me. That I'm a worker among workers. I'm not really anything more than that. I don't need to be anything more than that. I don't need a bunch of followers in order to make me feel better. It's just not something I need. Anyway, trustworthy individuals are often seen as making sound decisions based on careful consideration and this is the big one, and a sense of responsibility. I feel I am extremely responsible. I am very responsible for what is said and done here. You don't. You're not. You're not the one that's live. No offense. Okay. But when you're transparent, you best be ready for people to say stuff, advice. You're this, you're that. No, it's just stuff. But if something goes wrong here, something happens, it's directly on me. It's directly on me. My show. Nobody else, But is it? Is it more our show? Hi, Heather. Good to see you. Is it more our show? If that's what we want it to be, that's going to kind of be up to you. Careful consideration. That means that I don't know if it's, I don't know if this happens to everybody, but it seems like everything that I say is usually under scrutiny. Scrutiny is not necessarily a bad word. It just means people are paying attention. I hear, I'll go live, go to a meeting in a few hours, and I will hear what I said. Right. Now, let's keep in mind that it probably wasn't original. I probably stole it from somebody else. Absolutely. We do that in recovery. Right? But good judgment and decision making. I had to learn how to do these things. That decision making. See, what I usually, well, it depends on what it is. I don't usually ask people, what should I talk about next? What should the title be? Things like that. I got to kind of come up that with myself. But if I'm going to make a decision that's going to affect people outside of what I am doing, then I need to take every single person into consideration. Everybody that comes here, everybody that listens to me. I have to be considerate of that. I got to take certain considerations. And I'm going to tell you, I've screwed that up before too. And I've learned. You think it's easy? Come on here, be just who you are. It's not easy to do. That's why people are usually fake about it. They try and be right about everything. They'll do clips. They do this. I don't get into any of that. Claire says, I don't steal anything anymore, but I will use what I take, and I will leave the rest. So taking something and stealing in my book are the same thing. For me, that doesn't mean everybody thinks that way. So I agree with you 100%. I don't mind if people steal or take, as long as you do it and apply it to what you're doing. That's what I did, right? Emotional maturity. I don't know about that one. I am not always emotionally mature. Still one I'm working on. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say I'm emotionally immature anymore, though. I'm usually a lot better about things now than I was. Claire says, once you say it, it's not yours anymore. Yeah, let's go for that. Go for that. I'm happy to find a landing spot we can all agree on. I'm always happy to do that. I'd rather that people were getting along, honestly. I really do. I love camaraderie. I love the joyousness of it. I love the fellowship of it. Absolutely. So emotional maturity. I'm pretty emotional mature, pretty much. The problem is I'm 54, and I certainly I don't feel like I'm 54. I'll just say it that way. They're generally able to manage their emotions effectively and avoid acting impulsively or irrationally. Yeah, like I said, I'm working on it. I tell you now, if something pisses me off, man, it is all over my face. It is. It will be all over my face. I can't help it. Well, I can help it, and it is something that I'm working on. I do what I can to not act impulsively. And if I do, it isn't going to be for very long. There's a lot of times something has happened here, and I've been kind of impulsive about my answer because maybe I wasn't in the best mood that day or whatever. But eventually we can usually work it out. And I do have to say, there's some things here that, that I've said that have run people off too, man. It's happened. I made a mistake. I really wish they would have contacted me and kind of confronted me on it first, but that didn't. It's happened. I don't do everything perfect. But in this case, progress is a big thing, right? All right. Respect for others. Trustworthy individuals tend to treat others with respect and kindness, showing empathy and understanding. That one I got. See, I didn't need to be perfect in all of these, did I? No, but we can always learn more. We can always learn more. Okay. Empathy. I have too much empathy. I don't want any more empathy. No empathy. No. Oh, no more. That goes back to not working harder than the client, the sponsee, people that I'm helping, right? Yeah. Accountability, they're willing to take responsibility for their actions and mistakes, demonstrating willingness to learn and improve. If there's something that goes on here, there it is. It doesn't matter which daily trudge it is. There's accountability in it. I've got to be accountable for my mistakes. A few weeks ago, I wasn't thinking. I was being impulsive. And I shared the sign-up sheet for our AA group. And somebody brought up, they're like, that's kind of breaking anonymity. And I got defensive. They were correct. And we had to settle that there and now. Because this person's a very good friend of mine, and I don't want them upset or mad at me. I don't. All right. I don't run around saying I don't give a fuck what people think about me. What other people have to say is none of my business. I can agree with that. But I do care what people think of me. Yes, I do. Okay? But self-esteem comes first. That way, I won't take on something that I don't need to take on. Right? So there's some psychological and social aspects here. Trust is vulnerable. I'm very vulnerable. I don't mind. Actually, I'm not as vulnerable as people think I am. Okay, vulnerable is not a bad thing. Vulnerable does not mean we allow other people to walk all over us without us saying anything. That's not what it means. All right. Trust involves being vulnerable to someone even when they are not trustworthy, which can lead to varying levels of trust. All right. Amber says that person was asking a question. Well, that question was correct, though. Hey, I was trying to give it to you. It was Amber. Like they don't know by now. Amber and I are very, very close, and no. So, it's my friends that fucking keep me in line. Absolutely, it is. Hey, Steph, good to see you. It's good to see you. Steph's a very old friend of mine. I've known Steph now for almost 20 years now. Because I just had a memory from 15 years ago when I was in California, and I knew Steph then. So Steph should be about 20 years clean by now. Good job. See, even when I was drinking, when people asked for help, I still did what I could to help them. I couldn't follow my own fucking advice. Now I do. Actually, no, I don't. I follow the advice of others that I trust, that are vulnerable with me, right? So I can be vulnerable even with somebody who's not trustworthy. Why can I do that? Because I've settled my past. If I tell you something in my past and you go tell it to somebody else, I don't care anymore. In fact, they're probably not going to feel the need to do that because whatever I brought up from my past, I'm using to help you. And we actually deal with this a lot more than you know, because how much can you trust a person that's new in AA besides zero? You couldn't trust me when I first fucking came in. All right. Did I say what you said there, Steph? Self-esteem is grown-up self-love. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely it is. I have to love me first. I have to take care of me first. True propensity. I have no idea what that means. I know how to say the word, but I don't know what it means. Individuals have a great tendency to be trusting or distrusting of others, which can be influenced by life experiences and interactions. Okay. I do not know how to set up another. I'm going to do something here. Let's look up the definition of propensity. Natural tendency. All right. So what is it? It's our intuition. I trust my intuition. I know when somebody's a bad egg. Oh, and you do too. You do too. You didn't go through all that life crap of being in and out of fucking jails and DUIs and sorted places and trap houses and Skid Row and all this to not trust your fucking intuition, man. But even then, individuals have a general tendency to be trusting or distrusting of others. Okay. And that comes from my life experience. It does. Context matters. Words affect people. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Bullshit. That is bullshit. That's just going back to I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. That's just going back to that. And what am I doing? Well, I'm determining my worth. And whenever Dion determines his worth, it's not even close. So I let God determine my worth. I let him do that. Okay, so trust is not a fixed trait, but rather a dynamic process that can vary depending on the situation and relationship. Yes. All right. I had a friend at one time. I don't talk to her anymore because I can't trust her. But I could. Right. Now, this person, I know that if I said anything to them, they kept their mouth shut. I knew it. I knew it was right. But if I wanted them to show up somewhere at an important time, no, I could not trust that. So there's different. Now they're getting into trust and not people of trust, which I wish they would have. So building trust takes time. I'm not even going to cover that. People of trust are those who inspire confidence and reliability due to their consistent behavior, integrity, and commitment to their word. We already covered that. Now, there's one thing in here that they missed. People of trust create safe spaces. Yes. Is it a safe space? No. Let's get into this. What are types of safe spaces? Great. Sorry, I was a little all right. Somebody hacked our bucket bank account again. There ain't nothing in there. So she got to get a new card. That means I have to change everything again. And I wrote her back, what the fuck? How does that keep happening? Anyway, something I'll deal with after. They didn't get nothing. There ain't nothing. All right. So let's get back to this. Safe spaces can be broadly categorized from safe from and safe to. Safe from spaces offer protection from threats and harm, while safe to spaces allow for an open expression and dialogue, especially for marginalized groups. I like the way that they did this, right? Because there could be a lot of safe spaces. A women's shelter, that would be a physical safe space. That would be considered jail if you have your own room. Let's just call it holding, because jail itself is not a safe space. So we have a physical safe space. I feel comfortable being here, but usually you cannot really have so we have physical harm, but really we're talking about the mental and emotional safe space. Is the daily trudge a safe space? Only to the point that we allow it to be, if that makes sense. Now you feel safe because you trust me. Why, I have no idea, but you do. I'm kidding. We literally just talked about it for 30 minutes, so that's why it was funny. I thought it was funny. I find myself pretty funny. Because there ain't nobody here, and it's not like I have a fucking soundtrack. It's not like I can hear you laughing, even if you do laugh. All right. What it needs is like those little emoticons to where you could just hit the laugh and it would show up on the screen. That's what it fucking means. Yeah. This ain't Facebook, so all right. So is the daily trudge a safe space? Only kinda. You probably don't chat things that are not, you're not chatting everything that goes through your mind. You don't need to, right? Not really totally needed here. Here I offer people here's where the safe thing is. If I say something and you have a different experience, I'm going to support you. That's the safe part. Is the grassroots AA meeting, is that a safe space? It's safer than here because anyone can join this, right? But is it really safe when we have people coming into the meeting and disrupting the meeting? Happened at 8:30 this morning. Lord knows that I wasn't up. All right. So it's safe space, physical. Physical spaces, these offer protection from immediate threats and harm, such as private rooms and emergency rooms for family members, designated spaces for breastfeeding, or areas set up after traumatic events. Communal and shared spaces, these include areas where individuals can connect and find support, like prayer rooms, communal kitchens, or women's room. See? So these are different kinds of physicals, right? I do appreciate this. It's important to note that a safe space is a complex term and its definition can be debated in different contexts. I would agree with that. Absolutely. So that's why we're narrowing it down to the emotional safe space. AA rooms, in a sense, are a safe space. In a sense. Okay. But when other people are there, it is never truly safe. Nope. There's only one safe space. And I think I said that wrong. All right. Because this is a safe space until somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm peddling mushrooms. See, anybody can come on here and they can read what you wrote. Is that safe? No, it's for the whole internet to see. So you are your only safe space. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't trust people to a certain extent that you feel comfortable and safe around them. It's the one thing that I utilize my empathy for in here and in the meetings. I want you to feel safe. That's why earlier when I said that sometimes I upset people and I wish they would say something to me so I don't repeat it. I am willing to change. If I am wrong, I am willing to change it. I don't want to be some old man who's stuck in his fucking ways and refuses to help people because they won't do it their way. I can't go for that. I've got a different set of ethics. I've got a different set of values. For me, it's about meeting people where they are at and then giving them the information that they need to make an informed decision. Steph has heard me say that millions of times because I worked in a sales room with her, and it was one of my closing lines. But it's true. It was true then, and it's true now. I'm good at making safe spaces because I know what it feels to feel unsafe. How else can we make a safe space for other people? You can do this anywhere you want. Just hold space for them. That's all you got to do. Maybe you just got your coffee at Starbucks. I know that I like a little bit of sugar and cream in mine. So I go walking up to the counter with my new freshly brewed coffee. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I go somewhere and I ask for a small black hot coffee, and they got to tell me the name of what they call it. Well, here it's called blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, in my mind, it's called a small black coffee. And if you could just go ahead and get that for me and shut your fucking mouth, we'd be great. So just go get it. Small. I'm not Italian. And even then, the things that they do call them at Starbucks aren't true. They're not the right words. They're just fun to say. So I go up, right? I'm gonna go get it. And then maybe there's somebody in there and maybe they're like their cinnamon and this, or they're taking, and they turn around. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a chance for Dion to create a safe space. Here's a chance for me to use the skills and the tools that AA has given me, that my friends have given me, and surely that God has given me. My answer is no worries. Take your time. Please take your time. Yeah, all right. How you doing today? Now we got a different situation on our hands. Now I'm getting to know somebody. So the best way to create a safe space is doing it for others, right? You know how I know I'm doing it right? You want to know how I know? Because 75% of my followers are women. That's how I know. And when it comes to safety, there's no better indicator than a woman's intuition. It's better than mine when it comes to that. I guarantee it. And you women know why too. So that's how I know that I'm good at creating safe spaces. Yeah. And I enjoy doing it too. I really do. I want you to feel safe. My house has always been this way. You come up, oh man, I'm so comfortable here. Yeah, but it's been like 5 hours. You need to go. But I don't want to go. Not even my grandchildren cry when they have to leave. Because they did sometimes. One of my granddaughters, she's going through stuff, and she comes here and just spends a couple of days. She doesn't need to do anything. She doesn't need to. No, I let her do what she wants because she knows that Grandpa's here, and that nobody can fuck with her at the moment because I'm here. God, what a nice feeling. Because when I was drinking, I didn't have that. I was not a safe space when I was drinking, which sucked because I'm really good at it. I mean, it's one of the things that God gave me. So I use it. All the gifts that God has given me, good, bad, or indifferent, I use to help other people, including my white privilege. I've known I've had white privilege at a very young age. So I use my white privilege to help other people so that they can speak up, so that they can go to meetings. It doesn't matter how many people we have in the grassroots meeting. We always need a timer because it is so easy to share your feelings there. It is welcoming. It's like walking into the sunlight of the spirit. And most people leave there feeling much better. And no, that is not because of me. That is all God. That's all God. And the people in it. If it was me, it wouldn't just be yeah. Besides, it's not Dion's grassroots meeting, and I wish people would stop calling it that. Nobody in the group does. It's people outside. Well, Dion runs this meeting. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't run the meeting. I started it. So what? Without the other people in it, it wouldn't. I started it, but without the other people in it, it would just be one person sitting in a room. Got to do it together. So an AA group can be a safe space, but it's got to be an AA group. It's got to be the group. Without the group, it is not a safe space. Even our group consciences are safe. I can tell you right now, you go into grassroots and start flirting with the girls, you're going to be booted out. We're just not even I may actually what I'll probably do is put you in a breakout room, go in with you and say, hey, stop hitting on the girls or you're going to have to find somewhere else to go, because we don't do that here. Right? Not once has there been an argument. Not one time has somebody cross-talked in that meeting. And 95% of the people turn on their cameras and leave them on because they feel safe. They do not feel the need to hide behind the camera. Good job, everyone. Great fucking job. Okay, I'm going to end on this. It's a little bit, I had started, and I brought this up this morning, but it's worth repeating. I started an AA meeting at Henderson Community Church. This was a year and a half ago or so. This was last year and during the summer and stuff. And the whole point was for it to be family oriented. Thursdays was supposed to be family night at the church. Well, I couldn't get anybody I just couldn't get the meetings going. But I invited Alan on. And when I left, I tried for 9 months. So it's not like I didn't put in the effort. But I was talking to my sister yesterday. And I asked her, I'm like, the Al-Anon meeting's still going on over there. She's like, yeah, we got big enough. We had to move upstairs. I'm like, yeah, right on. And then she told me, and we have 2 Alateen meetings a month. It was the whole point. So even though the AA meetings didn't work, I still got what I wanted, which was Alateen meetings. That's all I was going after in that situation. Very proud of them. Very fucking proud of them. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see several of you in about 3 hours for our 5 o'clock meeting. I hope you have a good day. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.